We don't win down here. We lose. You ready for that? Oh, you were a post-millennialist. You thought we were just going to go waltzing into the kingdom as you took over the world.
Welcome to Nobody with a Bible. I'm Chief Nobody Brandon. Here we talk about all the things and use biblical discernment while doing so. So let's dig in, not using your feelings, but God's truth.
What's wrong with you people? I'm serious. I mean, this is what's wrong with the Christian church today. We don't know who God is, and we don't know who we are.
If you're going to a church that is mandating the vaccine before you come to worship, to corporate worship, you are not going to a real church. That is blasphemy. I've seen this issue go around social media and on the news lately. This has been a hot topic. And I know many churches are doing this. And this is just absurd. There's nothing biblical about that. There's no biblical case that you can make to mandate something that somebody may have a perfectly good reason to do or not want to, nor are they harming anybody by doing so. This war of the unvaccinated, this is just, I mean, the logic in this is just absurd. There's none. There's absolutely no logic in these thoughts, and Christians are getting up and getting caught up in these arguments with each other, and this is something that Christians should not argue about whatsoever. This is a secondary issue that's not even biblical. We can have different opinions on this, and we can still respect one another and come together in this. But you have no business as a church mandating these things. Somebody posted this, and this is kind of what set me over the edge. Somebody posted this in our church group. Not that person didn't send me over the edge. It's just this what they posted, because basically this person was saying the exact same thing that I'm saying here now. But what they posted is this church's little pamphlet that they pass out or whatever, and it's got 3 points on it here. New protocols beginning Sunday, August 29th. Number 1, you must be fully vaccinated in order to attend worship in-house. Number 2, you must bring your vaccination card as proof when you arrive next week. Your temperature will be taken, and you must need to show proof of your vaccination. You must still wear your mask. Number 3, for those who aren't able to get the vaccine for medical reasons, as well as children 11 and under, we are asking you to enjoy our online worship experience. Reminders: no hugging, remain at your seat, practice caution. And they have little logos at the bottom: masks, 6 feet apart, sanitizer, and home. Hashtag worship wisely. Okay. That's blasphemy. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. There's nothing biblical about this. Okay, this does not fall under, Romans 14, the way that people are trying to take this out of context to say that, yes, we love our neighbor and we don't want to make another brother stumble, and this is ridiculous. Stop it. This is ridiculous. If you have this type of fear in your church, you're not a real church. This is a serious deficiency of faith and common sense. And to mandate this, to ban somebody from corporate worship because of a vaccine, there's nothing biblical about. Paul never wrote, if somebody does not take a vaccine, do not let them into the church. No, no. We make room for each other's faults. So if you vaccinated people think you're so smart and you think us unvaccinated people are so stupid, then you make room for each other's faults, right? Oh no, but we got to love our neighbor and get the vaccine. Well, yeah, but what has your conscience got to do with my freedom? See, we can argue this all day long, but the truth of the fact of the matter is that you cannot ban anybody from corporate worship for anything other than heresy, sexual immorality. I mean, go read 1 Corinthians, 1 and 2 Timothy and Titus, pastoral epistles, okay? You can't do this. And doing this is blasphemy. It's just, it's absolutely absurd. So, if your church is doing this, leave it immediately.
On the day of judgment, do not fear for the atheist so much, the thief, the murderer. If you want to be afraid for someone on the day of judgment, be afraid for those who carried the title pastor. Let me give you an example. I gave this example last night. Let's say that a king had a bride. He loved her. He dressed her in white. She was pure and precious to him, and the people admired her for her virtue, for her merit. And the king has to go on a long journey, and so he tells his steward, he calls his steward in and he says, here are the directions, and you are to care for my bride. You do not deviate from this, not one jot or tittle. And when I come back, you'll be rewarded, or I'll come back and you will be severely punished. Keep this book, these instructions with regard to her. Well, after a few years, this steward realizes that the people are losing their loyalty in the king. And they're no longer concerned about the bride because, well, she's just prudish. She's old-fashioned. So he takes her and takes off her beautiful white garment and replaces it with something really sensual. Paints her face like a prostitute and then marches her up and down the kingdom and uses this new look to attract carnal men back into the kingdom. When that king comes back, there are no words to describe what he will do to that steward. And when Jesus Christ comes back, there are no words to describe what he will do to many of these men who call themselves pastors, who have done to his bride exactly what the steward did in that parable.